Hello, everyone. Welcome. Sejam todos bem-vindos. Hi, everyone. Just gonna wait a couple more minutes just so I can start inviting people. Hope everybody's having a good day. So today it's gonna be a really cool live. We're gonna have a bunch of different astronaut candidates that are competing for a seat for SERA. Some of them come from the US, some of them are Brazilian, some of them are from India, Colombia, many places, which is really cool. So I'm really excited. Agora pra galera que fala português, hoje essa live vai ser bem legal. A gente vai ter vários candidatos da SERA que estão competindo pelo assento. E vários desses candidatos são de vários países. Tem Brasil, tem Colômbia, tem Índia, tem vários outros países envolvidos. E hoje eu vou testar o meu idiomas aqui. Vocês vão ver o meu lado poliglota, eu vou falar mais de um idioma. Então... se caso vocês não entenderem, não se preocupem, porque eu vou depois postar esses vídeos com legenda, beleza? Ok. Então, para começar, eu vou convidar um amigo que eu admiro muito. Cadê? Para começar, a gente vai começar com um amigo meu, o Gabriel Matheus. Eu apresento a vocês o Gabriel. O Gabriel é fisioterapeuta, astronauta análogo com especialização em reabilitação neurofuncional. Ele possui várias formações em pesquisas espaciais, em ambientes extremos e além de treinamento em microgravidade. O Gabriel é pesquisador associado ao Habitat Marte e ele atua como diretor de pesquisa no Geração de Marte, dedicando-se a explorar soluções inovadoras para a saúde e o bem-estar humano em missões espaciais em ambientes extremos e desafiadores. Bem-vindo, Gabriel. Tudo bom com você?
Olá, Elliot. Boa noite. Tudo tranquilo?
Boa noite.
Então, aí...
Como tá indo aí na Bahia hoje?
Rapaz, hoje tá um clima frio para os parâmetros da Bahia. 22 graus.
Pô, eu imagino. Ai, que bom. Então vamos começar, amigo. Então, para começar, eu queria que você contasse um pouco sobre você. Vamos começar assim?
Vamos lá. Então, eu tenho 36 anos, né? Sou aqui de Salvador, da capital da Bahia. Eu sempre fui um fã de aviação e um fã de ficção científica. Então, ali, na hora de escolher a profissão, não tinha muitas pessoas próximas a mim que trabalhassem com aviação. E aí, na hora, não tive assim, uma influência para decidir ir para aviação ou não. E acabei decidindo por uma profissão de saúde, que eu gostava também de estudar ciência, biologia, esse tipo de coisa. E decidi ser fisioterapeuta. Tem uma questão pessoal muito particular, que eu nasci também com espinha bífida, então desde pequeno eu frequentei hospitais, frequentei centros de reabilitação, então eu queria também me entender. Então uma das escolhas por ser fisioterapeuta também foi isso. Mas como a gente brinca na aviação, né, tem aquela bactéria chamada Aerococcus aviensis, que fica ali instigando. E eu queria, de alguma forma, também trabalhar com aviação, né? E conheci a medicina aeroespacial na época e eu vi, poxa, se existe a medicina aeroespacial, por que não a fisioterapia aeroespacial? Isso pensando unicamente em trabalhar na aviação. Eu vi que existia, né, os serviços aeromédicos, né? E quando eu comecei a fazer os cursos de medicina aeroespacial, eu vi que tinha também a medicina espacial, voltada justamente para o voo espacial, para a exploração espacial. E dentro das minhas formações na fisioterapia, né, eu me encaixava muito melhor ali nesse espaço, né? Nesse espaço do espaço, vamos ser redundantes. No espaço E eu me encantei com aquilo, né? E procurei fazer mais cursos, fiz a primeira missão análoga lá no Habitat Marte e acabei, né, sendo convidado para participar de outras. E estou seguindo aí nessa linha ali já desde. Minha primeira missão análoga foi ano passado, mas eu já vim estudando aí a saúde
Aham.
espacial já desde 2022,
E quantas
mais ou
missões
menos.
análogas atualmente você tem?
12.
12,
Tanto,
uau.
tanto como astronauta análogo, tanto como ground control, né? Na maioria
Uhum.
delas são como ground control, mas eu acabo ali participando também dos protocolos, né? Participando da melhoria de protocolos, monitorando a saúde de quem está na estação, de quem está fazendo atividade extraveicular e passando também as orientações do protocolo de exercício, né? Que a gente tenta simular ali o protocolo de exercício que os astronautas são submetidos, a gente tenta colocar ali também na missão análoga.
Uhum. Boto fé. Só um segundo, deixa eu só responder uma pergunta. Uh, Somebody is asking, will it have translation too? So right now, there won't be translation. I'm sorry. I'm just like allowing people to speak like whatever language they feel comfortable for the moment. But once I start posting the content afterwards, I will make sure to add captions. Okay? É, e, amigo, deixa eu te perguntar. O que te fez querer, o que te inspirou a participar da seleção do programa de astronautas da SERA?
Então, já imerso, né, nesse ambiente, tendo praticamente pouquíssimos fisioterapeutas que trabalham com isso e entendendo todas as condições de microgravidade que afetam o corpo humano, eu acho que é essencial que um fisioterapeuta tenha essa experiência de ser astronauta, dele sentir no corpo dele a sensação de estar em microgravidade, né? Porque hoje
Uhum,
nenhum fisioterapeuta foi ao espaço. Já foram médicos, mas fisioterapeutas mesmo, com a titulação de fisioterapeuta, nunca foram. E assim, por mais que a gente fale, sente isso, sente aquilo, tem essa alteração, mas sentir no nosso corpo é totalmente diferente, né? Tanto que no curso de fisioterapia, muitas das aulas práticas é a gente aprendendo a aplicar a técnica em um colega e esse colega aplicando a técnica da gente, porque a gente ter a sensação do que está acontecendo também é muito importante, né?
uhum. Sim, com certeza, com certeza. Eu vou só dar um contexto pra galera que tá assistindo aqui de fora. So, guys, this gentleman here is Gabriel Mateus. He is from Bahia and he's a physical therapist. He's an astronaut analog as well, and he has done a lot of extensive research with Habitat Marte analog station. So far, he has 12 missions that he has completed, and he's also currently the director of Geração de Marte Institute, where like we try to like incentivize a lot of like the youth of Brazil to get into like STEM subjects, and where we like do a lot of like different projects and where we try to like bring a lot of these kids into STEM. The reason why he got into physical therapy is mainly because, you know, when he grew up, he also had like a spine issue. So he was constantly in the hospital. So part of his path of going into physical therapy was also learning about himself, you know, his own struggle as well. And the reason why what inspired him to join the SERA competition is mainly because he wants to be the first physical therapist to also go to space. There hasn't been a physical therapist so far in space, and he hopes to like use this experience to inspire other people to, you know, get into the physical therapy field as well. And he studied a lot of like aerospace and like medical like related subjects, you know, and yeah, so I think I kind of covered it all. Gabriel, e deixa eu te perguntar, o que que acendeu a sua paixão pelo espaço e pela ciência? Você falou que um pouco sobre a sua própria
Isso.
situação, né? Mas teve algo a mais além disso?
Não, além, mas toda a minha curiosidade mesmo, até dentro da fisioterapia, né? Eu sempre gostei da fisioterapia neurológica, né?
Uhum,
Da reabilitação neurológica, pacientes com AVC, com Parkinson, com
uhum,
Alzheimer, pacientes idosos, né? Meu público hoje de clientes, né? De pacientes que eu atendo normalmente é esse público, além do público atleta que eu atendo também.
uhum,
Então, eu acho que o astronauta é meio que uma junção dessas coisas. É um cara que tem um treinamento de atleta, juntamente com. E quando ele vai para o espaço, ele volta com problemas semelhantes de uma pessoa idosa, de uma pessoa com alterações neurológicas. Então, tudo isso se juntou, ainda mais minha paixão por Star Wars, Star Trek, né, fez com que
uhum.
eu, né, conseguisse juntar tudo aquilo ali, tudo que eu gostava numa coisa só e seguir nesse
Então,
caminho.
naquele caminho. Ah, boto fé. Agora eu vou traduzir isso daí pra galera.
Ok.
So, guys, I asked Gabriel what sparked his interest into like his passion for science and space, and he said that besides his own condition, where he struggled as a kid with his spine, and he had to go to like rehabilitation. One of the things that like he's very passionate about is it's like neurological rehabilitation. So he works a lot with elderly patients, a lot of patients who had, brain aneurysms, Parkinson, and all those kind of like neuromuscular diseases. E Gabriel, vou fazer a última perguntinha para você, amigo.
Ok.
Por que para você é importante ir para o espaço? O que você acha que é importante e qual é o seu maior sonho, assim, para deixar para a humanidade? Você diria?
Tá. Então, meu maior sonho em ir para o espaço, eu acho que assim, além de tudo, é, é chegar ali num momento de um ápice profissional, né? Chegar a esse ponto. E eu acredito que as tecnologias em saúde desenvolvidas no espaço hoje são até corriqueiras no dia a dia, né, das
Uhum,
pessoas. A gente vê um monitor de sinais vitais no hospital, né, um monitor cardíaco no hospital, não faz ideia que aquilo surgiu da corrida espacial. A gente vê um aparelho de ressonância magnética e não tem noção que aquilo também surgiu da pesquisa espacial. Então, acho que desenvolver pesquisa em tecnologia, de tecnologia em saúde, né, inclusive no espaço, vai chegar uma hora que, poxa, eu posso desenvolver algo que vou deixar um legado aí que a humanidade vai usar corriqueiramente e nem se dá conta que foi desenvolvido lá atrás, né,
uhum.
em uma missão espacial, em um experimento espacial. Acho que é isso que eu quero deixar para o mundo, um legado da saúde espacial, né, como um desenvolvimento ali tecnológico em saúde para a humanidade.
Uau, incrível, amigo. Traduzir aqui pra galera.
Ok.
So I asked him, like, why it's so important for him to go to space, and what is his biggest dream for humanity in space. And he said that the reason why he wants to go to space is to further develop, aerospace medicine. The one thing that he wants to do is like, nowadays, like a lot of people look at MRI machines and different other like medical equipments, and they have no idea that it was developed in for like space, right? And pretty much like he's very focused in developing, like the medical field and technologies. And what he wants to leave a legacy that like will live beyond him, with like medical equipments that is going to be like it's going to be developed in space and is going to have a tremendous impact here on earth, so like we can treat patients and provide them a better quality of life. Amigo,
Ok.
brigadão por você ter começado essa live comigo, é uma honra como sempre. Tipo, foi uma jornada incrível. A gente tipo, troca bastante ideia, mas eu amo contar essa história porque eu acho que é uma história digna de ser contada, né? Tipo, fisioterapeuta no setor aeroespacial, tipo, Sabe, eu acho incrível que você, tipo assim, tá entrando nessa área e, tipo assim, tem desenvolvido pesquisas, tem feito um impacto na nossa comunidade e ainda busca fazer um impacto ainda maior. Então, parabéns, amigo.
Obrigado. Thank you for everyone in this live. Let's go to space.
Heck yeah. Vamos lá, então eu vou. Como que eu tiro aqui você agora?
Eu acho que eu tenho que sair.
Ah, você tem que sair, beleza. So now, guys, I'm gonna invite our next guest. In our list is Karina. Let me just invite Karina up. Our... So, this one is gonna be a little different. We're gonna be talking a little bit of Spanish and English, so bear with me, guys. I'm going to be talking multiple languages in this live, and I love that. You know, I get to practice a little bit of everything. Let me get Karina. Invite her. I just sent her an invite. For some reason, it's not accepting. Karina, I see that you're trying. I'm accepting it, but it's saying that you're unable to join. Could you try to exit out of the live and come back in? See if that works. In the meantime, while Karina is trying to get back into the live, I might just try to get somebody else to join right now. In the meantime, let me try one more time. See if she's able to join. Hola Karina, ¿cómo estás?
Hola, muy bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Muchas gracias por invitarme.
No, qué listo. Yo estoy bien también.
Me alegra mucho.
So, le presento Karina Cuesta, una talentosa artista autora colombiana, nacida y criada en Colombia y actualmente residente en Pensilvania. Karina utiliza la pintura y escritura como medios de expresar sus emociones y transformar cada experiencia en algo más bello. A través de su arte y sus palabras, compartir su historia con la esperanza de inspirar a otros jóvenes a entrar en la carrera aeroespacial, ¿no?
Sí, muchas gracias.
Karina, cuenta un poco para nos su historia.
Bueno, sí, yo soy nacida y criada en Colombia, en Ibagué, Tolima, y desde pequeñita siempre me ha gustado el espacio y siempre mi sueño era de ser astronauta. Pero las condiciones en Colombia en ese tiempo, cuando uno sueña tan grande, a veces no se puede, no porque uno no quiere, sino porque no hay el apoyo necesario o no hay los recursos necesarios para uno poder hacer lo que uno quiere. Y también desde pequeña me ha gustado lo que es crear, pintar, escribir. Entonces, ya cuando fui adulta me dediqué a estudiar arte y pintar y a escribir libros, pero mi sueño es siempre, siempre ser astronauta.
E o que te despertou de paixão pelo espaço e a ciência?
Desde pequeñita me ha gustado la ciencia, desde pequeñita siempre la curiosidad que uno tiene, wow, siempre como que voy afuera y miro las estrellas y por el telescopio, los planetas y no sé, como una curiosidad de que, wow, es algo más allá de este mundo. Este mundo es tan hermoso, tan bello, tan la naturaleza, los animales, pero solamente ver la oportunidad de poder ver tanta belleza desde afuera. Ya lo mejor que me pueda pasar a mí en mi vida. Y antes era como imposible, pero ahora gracias a Sera ya todo es posible. Ya no es imposible.
Sí. ¿Qué fue lo primero que te inspiró a unirte al programa espacial de SERA?
De Sera, cuando vi la oportunidad, yo no lo dudé ni una vez porque ha sido mi sueño de pequeña, como dije, y la oportunidad que le dan a los civilians, que no tengo que ser astronauta profesional para poder ir al espacio, es una oportunidad muy grande. Y
Sí.
para demostrarle al mundo que si uno lucha por los sueños que uno tiene, no importa, yo no soy astronauta, no soy científica, soy un artista, pero al mismo tiempo tengo ese deseo de poder ver con mis propios ojos lo grandioso que es la Tierra y estar en el espacio y poder ser un ejemplo para otras mujeres, para otras personas que quieran soñar, que nada es imposible si uno
Sí.
tiene perseverancia, si uno tiene fe, si uno tiene dedicación y uno lucha por sus sueños.
Ok. ¿Qué experiencias personales o profesionales te prepararon para ese desafío?
Bueno, personales, resilience. He pasado por momentos, desde pequeña he tenido vitiligo de los 4 años de edad
Ujú.
y he querido ser una advocate para las personas que tienen esta condición. Me han hecho muy fuerte. Me han hecho saber que en esta vida, si uno lucha y si uno sueña y lucha por todo lo que quiere, se puede lograr. Entonces, eso me hizo fuerte. Tener vitiligo de los 4 años me hizo muy fuerte y también yo casi pierdo la vida en el 2022. Y eso me dejó una lección muy grande, que la vida es muy frágil y,
Ujú.
hola, y si uno tiene la oportunidad de hacer algo grande, de trabajar por lo que uno quiere, por sus logros, por sus metas, hay que aprovecharlos. Y la
Sí.
vida se va rápido y es una sola, como dije. Entonces, estoy luchando por mis sueños, por mis metas, por todo lo que quiero hacer, porque uno no sabe cuándo se va a morir, uno no sabe cuándo se va a ir de este mundo y es muy bonito esto, poder aprender de esa experiencia para poder es darme esa, wow, ok, voy a hacer esto porque yo puedo, porque tú puedes, nada es imposible.
Sí. Y la última pregunta, ¿por qué es importante para tú ir para el espacio?
Para mí ir al espacio sería un milagro hecho realidad para mí. Para mí es importante porque quiero demostrar a todo el mundo que uno puede luchar por sus sueños. Quiero apreciar la tierra desde afuera, quiero ver la hermosura con mis propios ojos, quiero inspirar a otras personas, quiero también tratar de hacer experimentos. Para mí, ver la tierra desde afuera sería como un canvas que como soy artista, soy muy imaginativa y creativa, me imagino como un canvas, pero desde afuera y no sé, poder experimentar eso será un ejemplo para otras personas, para luchar por sus sueños, poder también experimentar con la ciencia, porque me gusta mucho la ciencia,
Ujú.
a la ciencia y hacer experimentos y no sé, luchar por lo que quiero.
Ok, gracias, gracias.
Gracias
Yo
a
imagino las pinturas, la arte que irá a hacer después de tener esa experiencia de ver los espacios con los propios ojos.
¿Qué pintura dice usted? Pregunta.
No, yo imagino las pinturas que tú vas a hacer después de la experiencia de viajar al espacio.
Sí, sí, quiero, no sé, crear muchas pinturas del espacio, quiero también, no sé, inspirar a otras personas. Y no, o sea, yo le digo a las personas que conozco que saben que estoy en esta campaña, y digo, si yo voy al espacio, ¿qué más quiero en la vida? ¿Qué más quiero en mi vida? O sea, sería, o sea, ¿qué más pido? ¿Qué más pido? O sea, no, sería lo máximo, la máxima experiencia que yo pudiera tener en mi vida. Sería ir al espacio. Mi sueño, desde chiquita.
Sí, a mí también. Increíble. Ok, gracias, muchas gracias por estar aquí hoy. Um, yo voy a compartir su historia con mis seguidores, voy a marcar en los vídeos que voy a hacer después.
Ok.
Y yo espero que inspire mucho más jóvenes a entrar en el arte, la ciencia, el espacio.
Sí, muchas gracias, Elo, por la oportunidad. Te agradezco mucho, muy amable, muchas gracias y espero que este sueño que abrió Sera pueda inspirar a muchas personas a unirse y también luchar y también, ¿no? Todo el mundo puede, cualquier civil puede unirse y también luchar como nosotros estamos luchando.
Sí, gracias.
Gracias a ti, muy amable. Muchas gracias por todo.
Ajá.
Gracias.
Ok. Yo voy a convidar a la próxima persona para entrar. Yo creo que es Monse. So para salir de la live, tú tienes que
Ok,
presionar para
listo.
salir.
Disculpa.
No, no, ¿qué hizo?
Okay.
I'm here. Can you see me now?
Yes, I can. So let me introduce you.
Thank you.
Guys, meet Monte Mazateca. She is an inspiring trailblazer who aspired to become the first indigenous Mexican woman to go to space. And currently, she's the only indigenous Mexican woman in the competition. Monse holds a law degree, notary public license, and a degree in actuarial science from Benemérita Universidad Autónoma de Puebla. Did I say that right?
Yeah, that's right.
And her next goal is to pursue her master's degree in aerospace law. Since childhood, she has been a children's right activist and advocate. She's also a cultural activist and a key contributor to projects dedicated to preserving her indigenous language, Mazatec. She's also a part of the deepest speleological project in Latin America, the Proyecto Espeleológico Sistema Uyatat.
Cuautla.
Oh, okay, almost.
Yeah, it's an
Almost.
indigenous word, so it's kind of hard to say it. Don't worry about it.
And she is a proud member of the National Speleological Society in the US. She recently was selected by Space for Humanity to train in microgravity with zero G. Despite growing up and facing economic hardship, social inequality, and discrimination, Monse has never stopped dreaming big. She strives to empower children and young people from marginalized community, and she's determined to open doors for them and create opportunities where there won't be denied like she once was. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
So Monse,
Yeah.
oh,
Uh,
no, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I am kind of nervous. This is my first interview, like with another cultures. I am basically I am a Spanish speaker, so I have to ask you. If you prefer the interview in Spanish or English? I am able to do so.
Up to you, whatever makes you feel comfortable. I speak like 3 languages, so
That's
whatever is
amazing.
easier for you. Yeah, like
I
we
grew
can.
up. I grew up in my community here in my indigenous language, which is Mazateco. For me, learn English, it was kind of difficult. I just started to learn English like 2 years ago, so now I'm like trying to improve my English as well.
Oh, your
Right now,
English is perfect.
thank you very much. I am just dealing with some difficult, like sometimes my English is not the best, but I will try to do my
No,
best
no,
because
don't
I
worry, don't worry. This is a safe space for everyone, so whatever make you feel comfortable. If you forget a word in English, you can say it in Spanish. Don't worry. You know, it's an inclusive space for everybody.
thank you
Um,
very much.
so Monse, tell us a little bit about your story. Like, I honestly thought it was very unique, you know, like,
Thank you.
being, you know, you're trying to be the first indigenous Mexican woman in space. That's incredible. So how's been that journey so far?
Well, I am from a little community from south of Mexico. My community name is Cuautla de Jimenez, Oaxaca.
Mm-hmm.
So we are Mazatecos, and in my indigenous community, we don't have like theaters or another kind of entertaining. So we like to go and walk around the fields, the mountains, because we are so rich with this nature, with mountains, with green areas, and like you say it in my introducing, um, I am part of a project, a philological project in my country, and it's in my town. We have 32 entrances of the caves. So I grew up around caves in my town.
That is awesome. I
Yeah.
love like going outdoors, doing hikes, going in caves, scuba diving. So
Yeah.
I grew up in a city called Victoria, and we're kind of in between mountains and like beach. So like there's a lot of like waterfalls. So like I grew up like going to like very like deep in the nature, you know, and all these waterfalls. So I can't imagine what it's like to grow up around like indigenous caves and, you know, like all this historic, like, um, you know, monuments. It's
Yeah.
really awesome.
It's really
And
amazing. I'm sorry, no, go
no,
ahead.
no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Don't worry.
just love to talk a lot. It's really amazing because also part of our cultures is like doing some rituals inside the caves. Like
Ooh, that's
indigenous
awesome.
communities, yeah. We believe that there is owners inside the caves that we have to ask permissions before to go caving or things like that.
Hmm.
And I grew up around the caves. I grew up to walking around caves, and I always imagined that I was walking on Mars and with moon rocks. Like
Oh,
kids'
that's awesome.
imagination are always like something else. You can be in your imagination in any place that you can imagine, you know?
Yeah. Oh my God, you're already ready to be like living on the moon and going on all the like lava caves and everything, huh? That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And by the time my mommy buy me like a book about planets, and I read this Marte Rojo and Pedregoso, like Mars with a lot of rocks. And I was like, oh my gosh. And when I am go caving, I believe this is Mars. So that was my inspiration. Like underground, it was my inspiration for love space sciences.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, like, let me just translate a little bit of this to my Brazilian audience really quick.
Oh, Jake, go ahead,
So,
please.
ok, galera, a Monse, ela é praticamente, ela tá a primeira mulher indígena mexicana que tá na corrida da Sera. Ela quer ser a primeira mulher indígena mexicana a ir para o espaço e ela tem um diploma na área de direito espacial e ela também ela busca, né, entrar, né, nesse meio de direito aeroespacial. Ela sempre foi um ativista em questões culturais, também em relação ao bem-estar de crianças, né, também. E ela, um tempo atrás, recentemente, ela foi selecionada pelo Space for Humanity, que é uma organização aqui dos Estados Unidos, onde ela foi para ter um treinamento em microgravidade com aquele avião do 0G, que faz as parábolas no espaço. Basicamente, ela faz parte de uma associação pateológica, né? E ela cresceu numa comunidade do México, onde ela cresceu em volta de cavernas, de culturas indígenas, e ela luta bastante para a preservação dessas culturas. O que é bem legal, muito diferente de outras histórias que eu já ouvi e incrível. And Monte, like, what inspired you to join the Sarah Space Race?
Basically, in my community, even in Mexico City and my country in general, there is like no indigenous impact in space sciences. So I was wondering why, and I was reading, so doing some research and talking with my friends in my community and other cultures as well, because we are very rich in indigenous communities in Mexico. So basically, I understand this. You can't be what you can see. So if they don't see we can achieve this kind of dreams, they won't even try it because we're living like in a limited like it's just kind of hard to explain, but we even are living every day just for it, you know?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
We don't have like enough money to even study. I was talking the other day with another of my friends, and I said, I don't know in which point I am here or in which point I get it to be in here because I even didn't know if I was gonna be able to finish my law degree. I was
Mm-hmm.
I was that percent of people that we have to study and we have to basically work at the same time for pay or degree. And even I study in a public university in Mexico, which is not too expensive, but I was still struggling to do
Mm-hmm.
it. So that's my goal. That's my goal is inspire other people as me, as indigenous people, because I just want to be the person who can open the next doors for them. And I know when you win this kind of events, when I went with Space for Humanity for have this great training in CRG, I inspire more people like me, and then they have been texting me and say how you did this or how could I start to do these things that you are doing, and I are referring them like you can follow these social media pages, and you can they have many convocatories every year, every month, so you just have to keep your eyes on it, and maybe you can find something that you think you can apply on it. And that's the most important thing for me. Open the doors for the next generations, the next indigenous people, and see more indigenous Mexican people very interesting about the space sciences.
That's incredible. Honestly, I'm inspired. Honestly, I also come from like a background like I grew up in Brazil, and Brazil is economically very challenging as well. And in college, I had a scholarship that was the only reason why today I hold a degree. And I can totally relate to struggling in college, wanted to be someone and make a difference in the world, and not always getting the opportunities, and I was the first Capixaba, the first person from Espiritu Santo to ever work for NASA, but I wanted to make sure that I'm not the last, so I totally can relate with you opening doors and wanting to like inspire more people, more indigenous people as well to like join the space race and science and STEM art fields, and also preserve your culture as well, so I admire that.
Yeah, I have been working last years to help another like Mazatec speakers to like for me social medias now are very important, and I am trying to leave this like legacy to Mazatec, and translate Mazatec to Spanish or even English. Sometimes on my Instagram I post my indigenous language in Spanish and English as well, and I am
Mm-hmm.
trying to help other people in my culture, like the ones that they are older, they have so much knowledge, so I am showing them how they can start with social medias and work on it for leave this legacy for the next future about our indigenous language as well. And for me, trying to help, trying to open paths for everyone who wants to be part of the space sciences for me is the best thing I can do right now. I like you say, I maybe I can be the first, but I don't want to be the only one. And that's
Okay.
the most valued thing here ever. And I appreciate the opportunity from Sera Space because they are giving us this opportunity that maybe we never could be able to have it before. It's so hard to be part of the space industry. But now, like these kind of projects makes a big difference for us, believe when we can achieve this kind of dreams. Like, for example, we see many careers in STEM, but also like me, like I want to be a space lawyer. We are a complement to the other careers in the space in these space areas, you know.
Heck yeah. Oh wow, that's awesome. And my last question, what is your biggest dream for humanity's future in space?
Oh my God, that's a great question. Because like you say, the space is like when you take some experiments to gravity, you can help lives. Even I having here many friends about that they are doctors and then they do the research in space experiments for help and perceive life, for help and perceive some symptoms, and then can help. So at the same time, for me, the future of the space is not just like have a team working on it, is also have like another careers like doctors, like lawyers, like nurses, like physical therapists. Oh my God, there is a lot of careers now that they have to be able to show to the world, you know, like say,
Yeah.
for example, me, I am a lawyer and I want to do my contributions to the legal field of space. And because we have I don't know. I'm sorry, I forget the word in English. But the laws, international laws that we have, they need to be renewed because they are so old, and now we are having every of these changes with many space companies in these times. So I really think we need to do more research, and we need to like tenemos que decir de esta manera. I'm sorry, I'm gonna change a
No,
little bit
no,
English because it's for
go
me
free.
Spanish, I mean. Tenemos que aportar en el área legal, tanto en México como en sus países, y de ahí abarcar el área internacional. So for me, that's the most important part for right now. As me, as a lawyer, as I want to be a space lawyer, and I know there is many people around the world with another careers, not just STEM, that they can do the contributions and make this world better.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Monse,
Thank
for
you.
sharing a little bit about your journey with us. I really appreciate you taking the time to join me on this live.
No, thank you very much for the invitation. I really appreciate it because I came excited to hear every of my uh, other people in this competition stories, and I am very excited to know them. And this is a great opportunity we can share our stories. Thank you
Heck
very
yeah.
much. I really appreciate it.
No problem. I'm glad you were able to join.
Thank you. I
All
will say
right.
I will
Oh,
say
go
this
ahead.
last word in Mazatec. Ninashikatabe Chile. Thank you very much.
No, thank you. Thank you for keeping your language alive. It's awesome.
Thank you.
All
I
right,
think
guys. So I'm gonna invite the next person to stage. So in the order here, let me see if Cecile is here. So Monse, all you need to do is to exit out because I
okay.
can't exit you out.
Let me see. And Ceci, I'm not sure. Maybe she will be here. I'm sure because she's on the yak right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
International
I saw that she
Astronautical
was
Congress.
traveling. So if
Yeah,
she
hopefully.
is not here, I'm going to invite really quick Geo because I know that Geo is also in a different time zone and she has some commitment. So I'm just gonna pop her in really quick. Um, Geo, are you here? Oh, there you
Sure.
go. Hi,
Hi.
Geo.
Hey, nice to see you. Hi, Monse. Hi, all my friends and colleagues. How you
So,
doing?
guys, I'm going to introduce you. This is Gio Ramirez from Colombia, an electrical engineer, magister and project manager, aviation pilot, and analog astronaut. She served as a board member of AESSIEEE, Latin America, and is an international speaker and mentor for the Hispanic groups and space camps visiting at NASA, with a strong commitment with advocating for STEM education in Colombia and across Latin America. Geo achievements have earned her prestigious recognition, including TOYOP JSC 2024 award as one of the top 10 most influential young people worldwide, and the Ada Byron Award in 2021. She also has contributed to impactful international projects with IEEE and UNICEF and the Columbia Aerospace Force. So welcome, Gio.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate this space, and yeah, I'm so glad to see all my friends and this space. Thank you so much.
I'm stoked for having you here. I know that you're busy. You're in Sydney. How's everything out there? Are you having a good time, learning a lot?
It's amazing. So today we are starting the IAC 2025. It's the International Astronautical Congress here, and the 3 past days we were in the UNUSA, United Nations workshop, working about with the emerging countries, and yeah, topics about space and contribution in different areas. And it has been really amazing. It's my first time here in Australia, and so glad and excited to represent Colombia here.
Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad you had this opportunity. So, Gio, tell us a little bit about yourself. What inspired you to join the space sector?
Thank you. Well, I consider myself a person very passionate in space. I really love it, and my dream is to go to space, as many as you. And um, I have this passion since I was a child. And yeah, I've been working in Colombia with different communities, doing different kind of workshops, trying to motivate them to yeah, join the space and this area. In Colombia, we don't have a lot of opportunities and careers in space, so that's why we have to open these kind of opportunities and initiatives. And as you mentioned before, I am an electronic engineer and pilot, and I have a master's degree in project management. But since I was a child, my dream was become a pilot. But in Colombia, my parents, they couldn't pay for an aviation training and this kind of yes, expensive careers, and that's why I had to yes to had another experience. But now I never uh, gave up, and I just continue working. Now I am pilot, but yeah, following this dream to go to space, and yes, to involve other people to connect the space.
That's incredible. I'm so stoked that even through the hardships, you never gave up on your dreams. You got your pilot's license, and I follow your content for quite some time. I'm a big fan. I see you inspiring a lot of like youth in Colombia, and doing a lot of like impactful work. And honestly, that's incredible because I myself as well in Brazil, I love giving talks to kids and trying to inspire
Yes,
kids
I
to
also follow you.
join
You're
STEM.
doing a lot
Yeah.
of things.
So, what sparked your interest for space and science?
Mm, well, I also like the research part. I think we can put a lot of technology in advance, or yeah, in improving the life for humanity. So I think the space is a good way to show that the experiments and science and technology can yeah, improve the life here on Earth. And I also like the research part. So I've been like 7 years working in research projects with the Colombian Air Force, and I've been involved in cosmic radiation, in UAS, drones, cybersecurity, cyber defense, but different like experiments and science. And I think it's very important to yeah, to connect this area, all the areas, and yeah, to the development in space.
Wow, that's incredible. Honestly, I had no idea that you were working like with the Colombian like space program, like Space Force program. And that's cool that you have like all these different backgrounds with like cybersecurity, like management. That's like really cool. You know, it shows like that you're a very well-rounded individual. And what legacy would you like to leave behind as part of this mission?
Well, I would like to leave the legacy or to pass the torch for the new generation. Um, we need a better world, and the new generation very motivated to work as in the STEAM areas, as a scientist, in technology, engineering, and maths. Um, they are the future, so they can change the world, and they start now. It's not in the near future, it's now. So they can learn now. We can connect them with the space, and we can teach them. That is why it's very important to all that we learn. We can pass the torch and pass the legacy with this knowledge. For example, in Colombia, there are not a lot of classes, no universities in space, nothing, not this kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. That's why all the training that we apply, that we have, we can pass to them in order that they can, yes, become the future engineers, the future astronauts, and also they connect the rest of the kids, the rest of the people. You know, it's like a big. We are increasing the community and the people involved in space. So we need to leave a good legacy, and not only in space, it's in all the areas as a leaders, as a, in all the yes branches, and I mean in environment, in politics, in everything. We are integral or comprehensive work.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree with you. Also, I noticed that you were also part of a community that I am part of, Moondao, which, you know, I had the honor of working with them, and I saw that so did you as well. And it's really cool to see, like, you know, our communities kind of intertwining, even though that, you know, you're from Colombia, I'm from Brazil, you know, we're still like, you know, joining together forces and things like that. Um, and my last question for you, what's your biggest dream for humanity's future in space?
My biggest dream to transform lives, to improve the poverty, improve a lot of problems in our countries and Latin America. And there are many ways and new projects, new activities that we create, new initiatives that we can create for change and transform the humanity. Also, as an engineer or as an analog astronaut, we can create new devices, new technology to, yeah, to improve the life for the next generation. And yes, I think this is like a chain. If you change one thing, one small thing in education, in economics, it is like a reaction chain. It will improve another thing, and it will improve poverty, it will improve health, it will improve everything. So if you make small steps, small initiatives, I think it will, the impact is great, it's big. So
Yeah.
I think we can start doing this kind of initiative, small initiative, and we can connect and, how I say this, like,
You can say in Spanish, don't worry.
así. Sorry. Nosotros podemos contagiar el mundo con nuestra pasión, con nuestras iniciativas, nuestros proyectos, y podemos hacer que el mundo cambie.
Sí, yo concuerdo plenamente. Gio, thank you so much for being here. It's an honor to finally like to be talking to you in video. I know that we have exchanged DMs before, and I've been following your journey for quite some time. So I really appreciate you taking the time, even though that you know you're in Sydney, you have a busy schedule. So I appreciate you taking the time
No,
to chat
thank
with us.
you. Thanks for this space. Thanks for your time. So it's my honor to be here. And yes, thank you for listening to me and everything. I'm so happy to be here and to connect with you
Thank
and
you.
all the
Thank you.
community.
I appreciate it. You inspire me a lot, and I'm sure you inspire a
You
lot of
know,
people in your country.
see you
Okay, so
soon.
see ya. So you will have to exit because I can't remove you, but I'm gonna invite our next guest, guys. Our next guest here is Alejandra. Give me 1 second. I'm going to invite Alejandra. She is awesome. Oops. Let me see. Let me try one more time. I invited her. Alejandra, are you here? Let me try one more time. I'm trying to have her join on stage. Alejandra, are you here? So it's saying Alejandra is unable to join. Let me try one more time, and if I'm not able to have her join, I'm probably gonna ask her to like exit and come right back in. Okay, let's see if now she'll be able to join. So Alejandra is not being able to join for some reason. It won't, it's just showing that it's unavailable. Try one more time, and otherwise is Himanshi Twar is here. Okay, so I am gonna invite Andrew. Andrew, let's go. Okay, I'm inviting Andrew up on stage. Hello, Andrew. How are you doing?
Doing great, Elliot. How are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. So, guys, I'm going to introduce Andrew Paris. His call sign is Titan. He's a father, grandfather, proudly representing the United States. Andrew has been chasing his dream for space since 1968. A veteran broadcast television engineer, he supported every crewed NASA mission from 1987 to 2000, earning three teams technical Emmy Awards along the way. He has flown on Zero G, he's a scuba diver at NASA Underwater Labs, and traveled the world documenting NASA's historic activities. In 2021, Andrew reignited his pursuit for spaceflight, and he co-founded a community that I'm a part of, the Inspire 24, a global community dedicated to making space accessible for all. Look at that patch. To date, he's the president of I-24, and Titan leads with passion, teamwork, and unshakable belief that space is for everyone. Welcome.
Thank you, Elliot. Glad to be
So,
here.
Andrew, Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like, I think that you are one of the people who have like a fascinating journey and story. So I would love to learn a little bit more about you.
Yeah, I realized that I just turned 64. Looking back over my life, it has been pretty amazing. It was just my life for the longest time until I realized how extraordinary it had been, and so I wanted to start telling people about it. Yeah, so I was a child of the Apollo programs, the moon landings. I watched watched the moon landings as a child. My first memory was the Apollo 8 Christmas Eve live broadcast from around the moon. It was a moment that stands out in my memory to this day. I have three other brothers, and we all knew about the space program, but it was something cool we could play. We built our own mission controls in our basement and watched follow along. But that's the day it became a real thing that I wanted to do. So I always wanted to. I was lucky enough to work in Houston, and then when some job opportunities came up, I was able to go join a company out in California at Dryden, doing shuttle landing coverage. That was the return to
Whoa.
flight after return to flight after the Challenger accident, and I was an engineer on a TV truck that helped cover the landings. We had microwave trucks parked out on the lake bed, and I shot our signals back to the master control. I got to, fortunately, I got to be part of the team that did the tile survey post landing. And what that involves is
Whoa.
once the astronauts come down in their processing vehicle, the tile people back in Houston and in Florida had to get prepared to do repair any damage that they've had. So they had a team of people looking at it, and we had our cameras, and we would show a live signal all the way back via NASA TV. So I in fact, got to climb around in a few of the orbiters as a little perk, because once they were done processing, they say, anybody want to climb around inside the shuttle? So I'd climb around on the flight deck and the mid deck, which is very, very cool. Unfortunately, one of the realities of space is it smells like a locker room, but that's what happens when you go to space. It's like camping. A lot of astronauts say going to space is like camping. The view is awesome, but it smells bad. But hey, I can take that. Everybody can take that if they get a chance to go to space.
Oh, that's awesome. And what inspired you to like join the Sera astronaut program?
Oh, it's so, like I said, I back in 21 when I4 started, I entered the contest and met up with 23 other inspired young people, or not young people, but inspired other people. And that's what got started at I-24, the Inspire 24. And I've entered every contest, and that's kind of one of the rules, as I told you the other day during the all hands meeting. Everybody applies for everything. You never know. And this is very applicable to the SERA competition right now, for people to not get disheartened about if you're not in, top 10 or top 5, or you only got 10,000 space dust or whatever. One of our members, our first member to fly in space, Iman Jangahir, who's a cardiologist from Nashville, we were all part of the Moon Dow drawing for a
Yeah.
flight to space. You remember that, right?
I was actually working on Iman's selection at the time, so he has an incredible story. And guys, also he just released a documentary, which is
Yeah.
like incredible. He was in Brazil not too long ago,
Yep.
and I had the opportunity to connect him with like my friends out there in Brazil.
Nice.
And
Nice.
yeah, he's like an inspiration to all of
Oh, yeah.
us, you know. He was
Yeah.
the fourth one on the list. You know, he never gave up.
Yep.
And he went
Exactly.
to space and made a huge impact in the community. He went in
Oh,
Brazil and all the hospitals. All the cancer hospitals of Brazil, as well the universities, and inspired a lot of young Brazilians. Yeah,
yeah.
I love his story.
Iman is a unbelievably wonderful human being, one of the nicest people I've ever met, and he's the luckiest. He and Cyan Proctor, they both like to say they got the golden ticket. But let me ask you this, since you remember Moondow,
Mhm.
Moondow could not have done any better than that,
Yeah,
right? Right?
I know.
He
I
just like
know, like honestly, I am very proud to be a part of it and have played like a small part on it. I'm constantly contributing still to it, you know. I think that Pablo has done a phenomenal job,
oh
like
yeah,
with the community building. He inspired me a lot, and I I was working on Moondal like from Brazil. I was the only Brazilian in there at the time. I was the only Brazilian Moondal citizen for a while.
Really?
until,
Wow.
yeah, I was the first one until I onboarded like more, so
Cool.
now every opportunity that I have, I onboard more Brazilians. I'm actually onboarding one tomorrow.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I love what Moondal does as a community. I just recently did a podcast with Dr. Elia Overbay, where I was talking about like how Moondal just recently helped save a NASA research,
Yeah.
with the so like it's really cool to be a part of like a community like that when NASA had these budget cuts. We were able to step up and actually be like, no, this research needs to still keep, like, we need to keep this research alive.
Yeah.
It's very important, so it's honestly an amazing opportunity to be a part of that network as well. So guys, if you all have an opportunity, join Moondao, join Inspired 24, join Geração de Marte Institute. These communities like are incredible, and they do an important work keeping the young generation inspired, and continuing to work on space sector and following their dreams.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, Andrew, I would say, like, what is your biggest dream for humanity's future in space?
Oh, well, I've been listening to the other members and enjoying what they've been saying, and it's amazing how we all think alike. We're all thinking on that same path, which is creating a better future, creating a world where everyone gets an opportunity. Because all you need is an opportunity. Given an opportunity, you can prove yourself, and that's kind of what this is about. Um, there's a great saying that Simon Proctor and Mike Mungo talk about, which is solve for space, solve for Earth. When you solve a problem for space, you automatically solve many problems on Earth, and you make it a better place to live. Because this is this is our only planet. We may have plans to go to Mars, but that's not for the bulk of us. Um, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with the overview effect, and that's one of the things that this group of people, the six that will fly, will get to experience firsthand. Iman talks about it. He's talked about it many times. In fact, he's starting to write a book
Oh,
about it. He wants to write a
really?
book. Yeah,
That's
he wants to write a
awesome.
book. He's working on it now. And the overview effect is very powerful. They're even doing research. I know people who are doing research about trying to recreate the overview effect here on the ground because it's such an important thing. Because people, when you see the planet for what it is, which is not a geographic, countries and states and political parties, you see it for the single ship that we live on. It changes your whole. It's kind of mind blowing.
It
It
changes your
changes.
perspective, right?
It's
Like,
exactly. It changes
uh,
perspective greatly, and things that you thought were important fall away. Other thing, taking care of our planet and helping each other become very, very important. And that's one of the things I want to do. I want to go. As I tell my kids for years and my wife, I want to go to space to help make the Earth a better place.
yeah, like, the overview is so important, and I think the best way to describe it too is, I don't know if you had the opportunity to watch Rachel's TED Talk. She's the former director of Space for Humanity, and she says that, like, once you see Earth, the tiny blue dot, you see that one single like system, and you see that there's no borders, no divisions, no politics, and that, like, we need to protect our planet. So
Yeah,
it's amazing. And I didn't know that Iman was writing a book, and
I
that's
probably shouldn't have said
awesome. I can't
anything,
wait
but
to read it.
I shouldn't have said anything, but he's been very, very changed by it, and he's even reaching out to others to help to talk to them about it too. By the way, I was there for the world premiere of the documentary in Nashville, and also when they put his flight suit and
His
shoes on
two,
display.
yeah.
It was
Oh
very
wow.
cool to have hanging with. It's kind of the final note in the whole thing because actually Iman and I go back to 2001. Actually, yeah, we met online before Inspiration 4, and then I said, hey, are you going to Inspiration? Oh yeah, I got a friend there. Turns out his friend was Simon Proctor. They're both in the astronaut can ASCAN class. Um, and I said, oh great, I'll see you at the VIP viewing area. Well, that back when I worked at NASA, the place where the VIPs was out where the Saturn V is now. Well, I
Uh-huh,
get
yeah.
there and he's not there. Like, where are you? Oh, I'm in the VIP. Well, the VIP area is had been moved. SpaceX moved it on top of the launch complex, mission control, launch control. And so we didn't get to see each other. It took us another year before we met. But when
Oh,
we spent when Moondow did its first drawing years ago,
for
and it
Toby,
was,
right?
yeah, it was like middle of the night. It's 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 nights in a row, because they were out on the Pacific, on the West Coast, and we were on Central Time, and we're up until 3 o'clock in the morning going, and they're having all kinds of problems with it, and they eventually got it right. But yeah, it was something. It was a bonding of pain, is what it was. But we agreed that we were going to help each other fly to space and get each other's seats. So when
Heck
he
yes.
got fourth place, I said, dude, just relax. You're going to go to space. I know you're going to space. I have a feel in my gut. And then one day, as the process was breaking down or going along, and my wife's driving me, and we're driving, and I get a phone call. I said, Iman, what did you hear? He says, go to your email, sign the documents, and call me back. And it was a non-disclosure agreement. And so
That's so good.
I was part of his ground support team for Moondow. I helped him do a lot of his media connections and media stuff. And so I was part of the Moondow team that went out to the launch, got to see
Mm-hmm.
my friend Cyan Proctor, and then I got to meet Amanda Young, which was an
Uh-huh.
amazing
I saw
human
she was
being.
there.
Yeah, that was her stories
It's incredible, right?
changed me enough that I threw my support in her. So when she flew, I actually helped coordinate a group of her, like 80 of her friends and colleagues who couldn't come on site. We set up a viewing area outside the fence, and we did a live stream from there. And
Aw, that's
there wasn't
awesome.
a dry, when she came out of that capsule, there wasn't a dry eye in that group. I had to stop talking. I had to step away from the camera because it was just so emotional to see Amanda's, what I call her victory. It was her victory when she
That
stepped out of
is
the capsule.
incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible because I also followed her journey for quite some time too. I did have the opportunity to go watch Iman fly to space, but since I was in Brazil and like Blue Origin doesn't allow you to disclose the date, and I was like, guys, I need to know a date.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
Yeah.
Um,
It's kind of
so
counterproductive to the whole get the friends and family out there thing. So
I know, right? Especially for me, like coming from Brazil, it was like very challenging as it is. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to go. But I was watching it live. I still have my reaction videos on my Moondow highlights on my Instagram page, because over there you can follow all my journey working on that process. So I worked on the platform, creating the whole onboarding process for new members,
hmm.
and we were helping as well on the sweepstakes side, and I got to collaborate with Colin, with Ryan, with Pablo. It was like an amazing experience, and being the
Oh
only
yeah.
Brazilian there, I was just like so stoked to be behind the scenes and see the whole process, because it's not easy, and we had to put a lot of fire, like, but it was a really cool experience to be in a team, and we were learning as it was going,
Yeah.
and it was an incredible opportunity to finally see Iman fly to space and watch his reaction up there. And I think that was a moment, man, I contributed a small piece to make that happen, and I was honored.
It's all about the
um
teamwork. All about the teamwork.
Exactly. At NASA, I mean, you worked at the Johnson Space Center as well, right?
Correct. For
And
10 years.
at
Yeah.
the Johnson Space Center, there is this quote that says, "Teamwork makes the dream work."
Yep.
So ever since that, has taken that quote for life. It's something that I want that this opportunity to open access to more people to get to experience that, get to be able to have these opportunities to go to space. And like Iman wasn't the first one on the list. He was the fourth, and even though he was the fourth person, he didn't give up, and he went to space, and
Yep.
impacted millions of people. So
Yeah.
it was an honor to like play a small piece in that.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
so Andrew, is there anything else that you want to let the audience know about yourself?
Well, like you covered it, father, grandfather with a dream of flying in space. That about covers it all. But I want to encourage everyone to continue the process with Sarah. This is a monumental effort they're putting on. I know we've had some technical issues to deal with, but they've been very good about keeping us up. And this is it is in fact is a marathon, and people need to understand that it all ends up in a reality show, which will be a whole experience for whoever gets the lucky 18 to get to do that show. And I hope to be one of them. In fact, I hope you're there too.
I'm hoping to be one of them. We'll see. We'll see how things will unfold in the next couple of phases. But if I get my experiment to go to space, I will also be happy.
Oh
And
yeah.
if some of my friends have the opportunity to also go to space, they will be representing me, and I think that's the most important part.
And yeah, and that's to me the most exciting part is the getting to go as a group. Well, something we have a saying within I-24. It's always better to go with friends, with a team, whether it's flying zero G or flying on the worldview balloon to 100,000 feet or whatever you're doing. It's always better to do as a team, because you get to have a shared experience, and then it multiplies everyone's experience by even
Heck yeah.
more. Yeah. So teamwork does make the dream work. And yes, that was the thing we had back in the 80s and 90s also. So,
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so much, Andrew. I really appreciate you taking the time to tell a little bit about your journey with us and, inspire us all. Guys, if you have the opportunity, go check out Inspire 24. Join the community. It's a global
oh,
community, and we are doing incredible things in there. So
yeah.
go check
Check
it out.
you can yeah, check any of my social bios. It should be in there. If not, just the Inspired 24, just Google it.
Heck yeah. Well, thank you so
Okay?
much, Andrew. Really
Thank you.
appreciate you.
And I guess I have to punch off here, right?
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
No problem. So next person I'm gonna be inviting up on stage is gonna be Himanshi. She was here not that long ago, so let's see if I can bring her up. I sent her an invite. She is a candidate from India with an incredible story, so let's see if she's able to join.
Oh, sorry.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
Yes,
Hello.
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh, yes, yes, I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Okay, Himanshi. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to introduce you. So, guys, let me introduce you to Himanshi Tamar. She's a first year finance student at the University of Delhi, who is actively involved in the space community through the Indian Space Association. She's passionate about exploring how smart financing planning, strategic policy, and innovative technologies can come together to propel India's space initiatives forward. Himanshi, please tell us a little bit about you.
Hi everyone, my name is Himanshi. Nice to meet you all. My name is Himanshi and I'm from India. Right now I'm doing my bachelor's from finance from University of Delhi. It is one of the great university in India. Uh, I'm kind of nervous.
Don't be. This is a casual talk. Don't worry, we're among friends. This is like a very a very welcoming environment. So don't worry.
Yeah, okay.
So what inspired you to join the Sera Space Race?
Actually, I saw the one interview where they were interviewing normal citizens that if you get a chance to go in space, will you go or not? That inspired me. That I got I got the idea. Is it real or not? I got scared that is it a scam or not? They are asking money. I was thinking it's a scam because there is a lot of scams in what I say. So
No, I totally get it. It's something completely new, right? So it's totally normal to feel like, scared a little bit about it.
yeah, actually, a normal person like me who has no relation with any kind of space-related programs, anything. So So when I researched about that it's legit. So that's when I decided, yes, I will give it a try and open the gates for the Indian space community and inspire others to join this journey.
Oh wow, that's incredible. So let me ask you, what inspired you to follow your passion in the space and science and, try to merge your major into this field?
Actually, in my first year, I joined the Indian Space Association.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear me clearly because I'm having a network issue.
I can hear you a little bit. Yeah, don't worry.
Okay, in my first year of college, I joined Indian Space Association, where I learned about many types of things. That was the first time I saw the satellite from my own eyes in that conference, and I talked to many scientists, which were like they were working behind the many famous missions of NASA and space Indian space missions. So there I get the idea. What I say, well, from there I got inspired and I joined the Sera Space program and I got involved in space community like Inspire 24 and I'm also trying to join Moondao but I think there is some technical glitch in my phone.
Well, you let me know if you have any challenges. We can always schedule a call and I can always help you
Yeah,
onboard
sure,
into the
sure.
community. So feel free to DM me, okay? And let me ask you, what's your biggest dream for humanity future in space?
Uh, to explore the unknown, like in the movies I have seen like black holes in many documentaries they always talk about many galaxies, multiple universes. So I think I want humanity to explore the space more and we can make space accessible to all.
Oh, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's also a passion of mine, opening, democratizing access to space. And I
Yeah.
think that's one of the reasons why I've joined, Geração de Marte Institute, Moondao, Inspire 24, because these communities really are trying to, make it accessible for everyone. Um, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming up and telling us a
Thank
little bit
you.
about your story. And is there anything else that you would like the audience to know about you?
Oh no, yeah. Please join the Sarah program and support social hack.
Heck
I
yeah.
mean, okay, thank you. Thank you,
No
everyone.
problem. Thank you. All
Bye.
right. So you'll have to exit out because I won't be able to
Okay.
remove you, okay? Thank you so much. So the next one in stage is gonna be Nicole. Okay, I'm gonna invite Nicole up. Let's see if she's able to. Hello, Nicole. How are you?
Oh, hello.
So, guys, I'm gonna introduce you guys to Nicole Bellado. Um, she is from representing the United States. She's a chemist, photographer, and musician whose passion spans for both science and the arts. Nicole works at the Kennedy Space Center, and she's already completed analog missions with the second mission on the horizon with WBA, which is the world's biggest analog mission. Outside of her professional and astronautical pursuits, she also enjoys running, animal rescuing, and anime. Ooh, I got an anime fan here. Hell yeah. How are you?
I'm good. You?
Thank you for taking the time to join us. So, Nicole, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, oh, you cut out there for a second. Oh, yeah. So, just a little bit of background. So yeah, as you said, I'm a chemist. I work at a Kennedy Space Center right now, and uh, actually started off completely separately. I started in pre-veterinary in school, so I've always been in like science,
Uh-huh.
um, but that direction in my life got changed. Life happens. So so I ended up going the direction of space, and it has been an amazing change, and I'm like just have been excited to see, like where life takes me. It's always been a ride. So,
For sure. So let me ask you, what inspired you to join the Sarah mission?
so I actually got brought in by one of my friends in the Inspired 24, and so since you guys
Ooh.
just talked about it recently,
Oh,
you already,
Andrew.
huh?
Andrew or like somebody else?
Oh no, someone else, but
Oh, yeah, yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I love the community because everybody there has been so supportive. I just recently joined the community and I already feel like I'm home.
yeah.
So, that's awesome that, it was a friend of yours that, you know, brought you into the Sera community as well. Um, and let me ask you, like, what sparked your passion for space and, science?
Right. Well, like I mentioned earlier, I kind of came into the space side a little sideways because I was already in STEM. I got my degree in chemistry and biology following the veterinary side, and when that didn't work out, I just went into research. And in working multiple jobs, I ended up at KSC and suddenly was surrounded by space things, and I just fell in love with it.
I feel you.
And um, and that that kind of just has a way of I don't know, it has a way of taking over your life. Like once you get just a taste of what a huge, amazing thing space is, it's like how did I not see this earlier? So
I feel you. I totally feel you. I wish I I always had the dream of like, going to space and, as a kid and everything, but growing up in Brazil, when I was in Brazil, I never thought it could be a reality, right?
mhm.
And then I ended up, joining NASA as well. I joined the Johnson Space Center, and I was like the first capixaba, the first person from my city to ever worked on a space program. And that was, huge. And so, yeah, like that ended up being around that, I ended up like falling in love more and more. So, I can imagine what it's been like for you to be around like KSC and like seeing all the rocket launches and, being a chemist and, and being like, hey, I think that there's something here, and pursuing that. And that's incredible. And so, what would you say that is your biggest dream for humanity?
Oh, in general, wow,
Well,
that's
you can say like your biggest dream for humanity's future in space.
oh, okay. Well, I know you guys already kind of talked about the overview effect earlier. That was also kind of the area I was looking at. Frank Wright
Mhm.
talked about that a lot in his book as well. About how when people see that view, it just takes all of our countries and politics and all the divisions we have and just it's all meaningless, and it just gives us this view of we are all one people in this fragile planet in space that we need to be working together. And
Yeah.
if we can communicate that, like for the people that can go and see it and really get that, uh, take that to heart and communicate that to others somehow. How many wars might we be able to stop? You know.
Yeah,
Um,
totally.
but even those of us that don't get to see it, like if there's a way to yeah, to translate that somehow to just down here to Earth, like what a difference that could make.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. I mean, it's a whole shift on like somebody's perspective, right? And
Mhm.
being able to like bring that down back to Earth is, that would be amazing, to inspire like a lot more people, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I can totally see that. Hopefully one day that will be possible. And why going to space is important for you personally?
So for me, I see myself as more like the average person. Like, Yeah, I may work at KFC, but I'm really not that special. I'm not an influencer, I'm not like the best in my field or anything. And that's most of us. And like, I don't qualify for like NASA's astronaut corps, and neither does, probably anyone else here. And that's the thing. It's like if I could get a chance to go to space, so could everybody else. And I'm hoping that, that would be an inspiration to everyone. You know, if if I can do it, so can you. So stop, keep dreaming and keep trying and keep, opening every door you possibly can.
Heck yeah.
So, but yeah, trying to just be that inspiration. That would be my biggest thing.
Heck yeah, I totally approve. I think it's very important for us, especially, that those of us who have been trying to get into this field more and more. And I think it's very important for us, to inspire the next generation, of pioneers and explorers so that they can to look at us and, see representation, and be like,
Mm-hmm.
if she can do it, so can I, so I think that's very important. Well, thank you so much, Nicole, for joining us today. I really appreciate you taking the time to share your story with us. And, I hope to see you get space, and who knows, maybe we'll be in the same crew.
That would be awesome. Thank you again for hosting this.
No problem. Thank you. Okay, so the next person in line, it's my friend Thaisa Moncini. She is an amazing individual, and I can't wait to share her story with you guys. We are going to do it in Portuguese, but I will translate it to English for you guys so everybody can follow along. Let me try to invite her again. Thaisa, você tá aí? Aê!
Ai, pra variar, tô com o trem virado aqui. Cadê? Aí.
Aê!
Minha câmera sempre fica virada.
Thaisa, eu vou te apresentar em português e inglês e aí a gente começa, pode ser?
Tá bom.
Galera, eu apresento vocês a Thaisa Montini. Ela é mestre em Educação em Ciências e Matemática, professora de Química e Ciências, atuante na educação básica e no ensino médio, reconhecida também como educadora maker e educadora mediática. Thaisa é neurodivergente e traz essa perspectiva única para enriquecer a sua prática educativa. Ela é embaixadora do Instituto Geração de Marte e do IAC, além de ser coordenadora do Trem Sideral, um clube de astronomia e ciência para crianças e jovens do Cerrado. Thaisa é verdadeiramente... tem várias habilidades incríveis. Ela é escritora, dubladora, atriz, cosplayer, ela é mãe, unindo ciência, arte e educação para inspirar as novas gerações a sonharem com as estrelas. So, guys, I'm going to introduce you to Thaisa Moncini. Thaisa Moncini, she is an educator in science and mathematics. She's a professor of chemistry and science, and she mainly works on middle schoolers and high schoolers. She is also known to be an educator maker and also educator mediatic. And she's also neurodivergent. And she wants to bring this perspective to, her field. She's also an ambassador for the Geração de Marte Institute and IAAC, where she also leads an initiative called Trem Sideral, which is a club for astronomy and science in Brazil to inspire the young generation from the Cerrado to join STEM fields. She's also an author. She is also a speaker, an actress, cosplayer, and mother. And she tried to bring all of these things, into her field. So thank you so much, Thaisa. Obrigado por você estar aqui hoje. Thaisa, conta um pouquinho pra gente sobre a sua jornada.
Então, é engraçado de falar, né? Eu sempre digo que tudo começou com um pé de manga e um telhado. Ai, ai. Mas assim, a paixão pelas estrelas, né? Pelo céu de maneira geral, e sempre me deixou assim fascinada. E era algo assim tão distante, né? Pra gente que é daqui de Goiás, pra gente do meião do Brasil. Se você jogar isso 30, 40 anos para trás, era como se fosse só um sonho de criança mesmo, né? E eu costumo dizer, ultimamente, que é quase que tipo, é uma tentativa de concretizar, né, esse sonho meu. Então eu fui para o lado pro lado da ciência, da força, e comecei a investir nisso comigo mesma e com os meus alunos, né? Eu acredito que até mais com os meus alunos, porque eu já estava com a sensação de que o tempo estava esgotado para mim, sabe?
Uhum.
E essa oportunidade da Sera foi assim uma surpresa muito grande, na verdade, de poder estar trazendo esse meu sonho de volta, concretizando e acho que acima de tudo, podendo inspirar os meus alunos, né, a correr atrás dos sonhos deles.
Sim. Eu vou traduzir o que você falou, tá bom, amiga? Rapidinho.
Ah, sim, sim.
So, guys, Thais's journey, she said that like it started as a kid. She jokes, saying that it all started with a mango tree and a roof. Because as a kid, she used to climb the mango tree to climb to the roof so she could see the stars. She said that like she as a kid she always was very passionate about like the space and the stars, and she got to a point where she ended up joining sciences and studying that field mainly to bring her closer to that dream. And she got to a point where she thought that it wouldn't be possible for her to ever fly to space, but now with this opportunity with Sera, she's seeing that this dream is actually reachable. She also started doing a lot of like this like scientific clubs with her students, and through this journey of inspiring her own students, she has also started inspiring herself and believing that one day she could also fly to space. Então, amiga, me conta, o que tipo assim, o que te inspirou a entrar no programa da Sera?
Você quer assim a honestidade acima de tudo, né?
Sim, a honestidade acima de tudo.
Ok. Bom, como eu tinha dito, né, essa questão do sonho em si e de achar que tinha passado do tempo. E aí, um momento que passou, a página deles no Instagram para mim, né, acho que o algoritmo que mandou, e eu vi que estava tendo a inscrição. Aí, assim, eu sentada no sofá lá na sala, dei uma parada assim, tipo, ai, será que eu faço? Será que eu não faço? Será que ainda dá tempo, né? Daí a minha filha estava do meu lado e ela me cutucou e disse assim: Uai, mãe, não é você que sempre fala para os seus alunos que o não ele já tem? E aí, você já não tem o não também? E aí eu arrisquei, né? Arrisquei. Eu acho que os meus dois objetivos são o que eu te falei agora há pouco. Essa realização particular de um sonho e o poder despertar, né, nas crianças, nos jovens aí, mostrar que a área aeroespacial tem voz e tem vez aqui no Brasil, porque o que eu percebo é que muita gente ainda enxerga como esse sonho distante, sabe? Muita gente não sabe sequer que existe pesquisa na área aeroespacial, principalmente os mais novos, assim. Então, se eu puder, pelo menos, divulgar, despertar, levar isso além, sabe? Eu acho que eu já ganho muito.
Incrível, incrível. Vou traduzir aqui também, tá, amiga, para o pessoal.
Ok.
So, guys, I asked her like what inspired her to join the Sera program, and she kind of just was like, "Do you want really the truth?" And I was like, "Yeah, I want the truth." So, she was, it came reality where she never thought that this one day would be possible. And one day she was sitting on the couch scrolling through Instagram, and then she came to an ad where Sarah was given this opportunity, and she was like, should I do this? She kind of second guessed herself, asking like, should I do this? Is this dream still possible? Or, you know, should I not? And then her own daughter like talked to her, and she was like, Mom, aren't you the professor who her own students that they already have the no? You know, so don't you have a no? Like, isn't it worth it you trying this opportunity to, you know, achieve this yes? And that is what like kind of made her to say like, you know what, I'm gonna try this. And her mission is, you know, to one, fulfill this, you know, childhood dream, and the second one is to inspire the young generation. You know, she is from Goiás in Brazil, and a lot of the kids out there, especially like the young generation, still don't think that, you know, space research and space science is something possible. It's a reality that people can actually, you know, do and achieve. So she hopes that through this experience, she will be able to like inspire the next generation to, you know, follow their dreams and, you know, into STEM fields. So, Thaisa, qual é o seu maior sonho para a humanidade no espaço?
Nossa, é, além de abrir portas, né? Eu penso muito na questão do bem-estar mesmo, sabe? Nosso.
Uhum.
Na, não sei se você se lembra de um projeto que eu estava trabalhando com, assim, que a gente tinha conversado, né? Eu estava trabalhando com umas criancinhas de infantil, 4 aninhos, e a gente começou a pensar numas coisas ali, vindas da cabecinha dessas criaturinhas desse tamanhozinho,
Uhum.
que me colocou a questionar, sabe? Eu falando para eles a respeito de conquista do espaço, de quem quer ir para Marte, se alguém tinha vontade de morar lá e tal. E aí, um dos menininhos me questionou o seguinte: Pro, a gente vai pesquisar, mas ainda não é a gente que vai para lá. 4 anos! Isso me colocou, sabe, aquele tapa na cara, assim, tipo, meu Deus, real. Nós estamos iniciando todo o processo, nós já estamos iniciando esse processo há alguns anos, mas ainda não seremos nós. Então, o que eu penso lá fora é como colocar, tipo assim, acelerar alguns experimentos que possam trazer para a gente aqui na Terra bem-estar, porque nós não vamos para fora por agora. Então, o que a gente pode fazer ainda para salvar o nosso planeta? Né? A ideia seria mais ou menos essa, para salvar a gente, para salvar a humanidade. Como preservar de uma maneira um pouco mais efetiva, sabe?
Mm-hmm. So, guys, I asked Thaisa what is her biggest dream for humanity, and she said that her biggest dream is to open doors so that more people have access to these opportunities in space science. The thing that she talked about was a project that she works with her students. So Thaisa, like she works with students from, you know, various ages, but like this most recent project that she worked on, the students were 4-year-old, where like if you guys check out her profile, you'll see they camped on the school, they were stargazing, they were like doing all of this like crazy projects, and like the whole school like was, you know, had a lot of like different, you know, designs and space themed, and it was really, and she said that like one of the things that like really like stood out to her was like that when she, you know, she was trying to inspire like these students, these 4-year-old students, and one of the students came up to her and said like, Professor, you know, I know that we're going to be researching this, but we're not going to be the ones going to space, you know. And she realized, you know, that it kind of struck her, you know, and she realized that, you know, it is somewhat true. You know, we're still in the initial phases of, you know, developing like more space research. You know, we're making space more accessible, you know, and she hopes to, you know, through her own experiences to show her own students that, you know, space in fact is a possibility. This dream is something possible. So yeah, it's really incredible. Thaisa, tem alguma coisa a mais que você quer falar pro pessoal?
Acho que não. Assim, só tentar, dentro da questão das oportunidades, né, destacar também que a gente nunca teve, apesar de várias mulheres, né, terem ido ao espaço, a gente nunca teve uma brasileira, né? Então, assim,
É,
acho que
a gente
seria
vai fazer
uma
isso
coisa
acontecer.
fenomenal
É
se
a missão da
conseguisse.
geração, né? So, guys, I asked Thaisa if she wanted to say anything else, and she said, you know, in Brazil, we never had, you know, a female astronaut. Both
Yeah.
astronauts that we have, both are male. So she hopes, you know, that by gaining this opportunity, she can inspire more like women in STEM, you know, and, you know, inspire a whole generation of young girls to follow their dreams and, you know, believe that, you know, they can too achieve the stars and reach for the stars, right? Thaisa, obrigado por você estar aqui hoje. Eu agradeço muito, amiga. Eu te amo de coração. A gente trabalha junto, para quem não sabe, gente, a gente trabalha no Geração de Marte juntos, então eu tenho a honra de estar colaborando com pessoas incríveis, assim como ela, e eu espero que a nossa comunidade continue crescendo mais e mais, para que a gente comece a abrir portas para mais pessoas, né? Então, brigadão, muito obrigado por você estar aqui hoje, amiga, sério mesmo.
Eu que agradeço pela oportunidade, imagina.
Então tá, eu vou chamar a próxima pessoa. So, guys, the next person on the list is our other friend, Lucia. I'm gonna invite her up on stage, my BFF, really quick. And then we're gonna have, right after Lucia, we're gonna have an amazing scientist, which I'm so stoked that she's here.
Oi,
Oi, Lúcia, tudo bom, amiga? Como você tá?
tudo bem?
So, eu vou apresentar você, amiga, rapidinho. Galera, eu queria apresentar para vocês a Lúcia Ferreira, astrônoma amadora, divulgadora científica e cientista cidadã. O nome é associado a diversas contribuições de descobertas astronômicas, é caçadora de asteroide pelo IASC e parceira com o Ministério da Ciência, Tecnologia e Inovação, o MCTI. Ela atua atualmente como coordenadora voluntária do projeto Nicolinha Kids e é embaixadora do Instituto Geração de Marte e também fundadora do Explora Marte, uma iniciativa que tem inspirado crianças e jovens a se aproximarem da ciência e da exploração espacial. Então, bem-vindo, amiga. Eu vou traduzir rapidinho em inglês também para a galera. So, guys, this is Lucia Ferreira. She is a backyard astronomer. She also do like scientific like communication, as well as she is a citizen scientist. She's also associated to a lot of like contributions in the astronomical space. She's also an asteroid hunter. She do partnership with IASC and as well as the CTI, which is the Minister of Science and Technology and Innovation of Brazil. Currently, she Lúcia, move sua câmera pouco para cima. A Laia tá falando que sua câmera tá baixa. Aí. Thank you, Laia. She's also she also works with a STEM group called Nicolinha Kids in Brazil. It's like one of the biggest like STEM groups of Brazil, right now, and she's also ambassador for Geração de Marte Institute, and she also is the founder of Explora Marte, which is an initiative to inspire like the youth of Brazil to, you know, get closer to science and space exploration. So thank you for being here. Amiga, então conta um pouco mais sobre essa jornada.
Então, hoje eu vou falar rapidinho, né? Porque hoje à noite é para os candidatos a gente conhecer mais a história dos candidatos. E a Sera, ela está nos proporcionando isso, né? A gente está conhecendo histórias e culturas de vários países e unificando em uma comunidade só, né? Então, eu vou falar rapidinho para poder dar a oportunidade de outros candidatos virem, né?
Com certeza, com certeza. E
boa noite a todos.
pode falar. Não, pode falar,
Pode
desculpa.
Não, pode falar.
Não, vai, continua, pode ir.
Boa noite a todos. É uma alegria imensa estar aqui com vocês hoje para compartilhar um pouco da minha jornada. Sou de São Gonçalo, região metropolitana do Rio de Janeiro. Cidade cheia de pessoas sonhadoras, batalhadoras. Cresci ouvindo que sonhar grande nem sempre é possível para quem vinha de uma comunidade, mas eu escolhi acreditar que ninguém deve ser definido pelo lugar de onde veio. Minha trajetória começou em 2021 através de projetos de ciência cidadã. Foi aí que eu percebi que a ciência pode transformar não só a vida de quem a faz, mas também inspirar quem está ao redor. Comecei incentivando os meus filhos a despertar a curiosidade científica e isso acabou se tornando o coração da minha caminhada. Hoje eu tenho a honra de coordenar a Ciência Cidadã no Clube do Nicolinha Kids, ao lado dos professores, coordenadores excepcionais, com o apoio fundamental de pais e responsáveis que acreditam no poder dos sonhos de seus filhos. Esse clube tem mostrado que crianças e jovens podem ser protagonistas da ciência e da inovação. Também sou embaixadora do Instituto de Geração de Marte, que conecta jovens e adultos em torno da ciência e da exploração espacial. A comunidade do Instituto tem sido um espaço incrível de troca e aprendizado e apoio mútuo. É um lembrete que quando nos unimos em torno de um propósito maior, podemos criar algo realmente transformador, mas é claro que essa jornada não tem sido fácil. No setor espacial, como em tantas outras áreas da ciência, as mulheres ainda enfrentam muitos obstáculos. Infelizmente, no Brasil, cresce um movimento que tenta descredibilizar as mulheres nesse campo. Muitas vezes, dentro da própria comunidade científica, eu mesma já vivi julgamentos antecipados, não só por ser mulher, mas também por vir de comunidade. Mas eu acredito que é exatamente nesse espaço de resistência que precisamos continuar, porque cada passo de uma mulher nesse caminho abre portas para muitas outras. Hoje eu estou participando da competição da SERA, que vai selecionar apenas 6 pessoas para viver essa experiência a bordo do New Shepard. Pode parecer uma competição, que de fato é, mas para mim ela tem sido muito mais do que isso, tem sido uma oportunidade de conhecer histórias de pessoas do mundo inteiro, que compartilham o mesmo sonho e propósito, histórias incríveis de superação, de inspiração, de amor pela ciência e pelo espaço, e é isso que torna essa jornada tão especial, mesmo disputando, nós estamos juntos. Juntos estamos usando essa visibilidade para não só falar de nós, mas também para divulgar os trabalhos, os sonhos e as conquistas de tantos outros. Minha campanha é sobre levar a primeira mulher brasileira ao espaço, e junto desse programa grandioso será uma conquista histórica. Impactante, com esse impacto trazer meu propósito, que é transformar a minha conquista em inspiração. Mostrar para jovens, meninas e mulheres da minha cidade e do Brasil inteiro que é possível sonhar grande, que podemos alcançar e conquistar. Levar para mais jovens a astronomia, a ciência cidadã, inspirar esses jovens do setor espacial também, que é muito importante, que cada um de nós pode encontrar no espaço, seja na ciência, na tecnologia ou no simples ato de olhar para o céu, um convite para acreditar em si mesmo. Eu quero agradecer profundamente essa oportunidade de estar aqui compartilhando um pouco da minha jornada com vocês, agradecer as comunidades que têm caminhado ao meu lado, aos amigos, aos parceiros que acreditam nessa, e a cada pessoa de alguma forma que se inspira ou apoia esse movimento. O futuro do espaço não será construído sozinho, será construído por todos nós, e é isso que estamos tentando mostrar, que a democratização do espaço é possível, que a ciência tem força e cada voz importa. Eu convido todos vocês a se juntarem a nós nessa missão, nos apoiando, nos engajando nos posts e compartilhando também. Muito obrigada.
Que isso. So, guys, I'm going to translate a little bit of what she said. So, she said she doesn't want to take too much space because this is an opportunity for us to get to know like other stories and, other cultures. But the one thing that she wanted to say was that her journey in space started in 2021 with citizen science. She is a mom, so it all started with her trying to inspire her own kids into STEM fields, into science and, explore and beyond. A lot of her campaign is, focused around empowering women. There's a lot of like challenges, especially in Brazil, being a woman in STEM, it comes with a lot of criticism, a lot of people like misjudging. She is from São Gonçalo in Rio de Janeiro. And, she wants to prove that, like, it doesn't matter where you come from, everybody can reach the stars. She wants to, her journey, she hopes to become the first Brazilian woman in space. And she hopes to inspire a whole nother generation of like young little girls and, women to like follow their dreams and believe that, they can to reach the stars. She's right now a coordinator for one of the biggest STEM communities called Nicolinha Kids. And this group is a group of like young little kids who do like citizen science. They have detected a lot of different many asteroids, and even Nicolinha had one asteroid named after her. So she's been working very closely with that community, with their parents, with the young generation. And she's hoping that, through this entire experience with Sera, she's able to show that, you can follow your dreams, you can pursue them, you can also reach the stars. So she is an incredible inspiration. I had the honor of working with her at the Geração de Marte Institute, so I've been following her own journey, very closely. So I'm honored to be a friend and, being able to, contribute a little bit to her journey as she's been contributing as well to mine. So I'm honored. Amiga, muito obrigado por você estar aqui hoje e ter
Eu
compartilhado
que
um pouco
agradeço a
sobre essa
oportunidade de estar
história.
aqui. Beijão.
Beijão, até a próxima.
Tchau.
So, guys, the next guest. Oh, amiga, você tem que sair completamente, eu acho.
Calma aí, deixa eu ver aqui.
Eu queria que tivesse a função de sair. So, guys, our next guest is somebody really incredible. I had the opportunity of shooting a podcast episode with her. So I'm really stoked to invite this guest up on stage. Give me 1 second. Let's see. Elia, are you here? I'm trying to invite you up on stage. Okay, so she's here. 1 second, I'm gonna invite her again. Okay, I just sent you an invite. Let's see if you're able to join. There you go.
Hey, great.
Welcome,
Can you hear me okay?
Elia. Yeah, I can hear you. So
Excellent. Okay. It turns out it was my web browser didn't display it.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So, guys, this is Dr. Elia Overby. She is a professor at the University of Austin and a chief scientist officer at BioAstra. a nonprofit advancing space health research. She leads the Space Omics and Medical Atlas, also called SOMA, the world's largest open resource of astronaut health and data, which she has made more than 90% of all publicly available astronaut biological data accessible to researchers worldwide. Her work combines genomic medicine and space exploration to understand how spaceflight affects the human body and prepare us for longer missions to the moon, Mars, and beyond. Welcome, Elia. Thank you so much for taking the time to meet with us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hosting this. I've been here since the beginning and I've been listening to everyone's stories, and it's just so inspirational to see all these different people coming together from all over the world, pursuing their missions and putting their message out there.
I know.
Thank you, everyone who came before me, for sharing.
It's incredible to get to know everybody's story and their own journey, learning a little bit about their culture as well, which was an amazing experience. So, Elia, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your research, and what inspired you to join the SERA astronaut program?
Yeah, so I'm a computer scientist by training in undergrad, and then I went to grad school in genomics. I was supposed to be a software engineer, but I didn't really enjoy doing that professionally, so I went to grad school. I delayed having to make any real life decisions for a while to do that. But what I did in grad school, I was studying genomics. I was at the University of Washington in Seattle, studying a lot of just cutting edge different omics methodologies. How can we get higher resolution, an understanding of what's going on in the cell? How can we study gene expression better? How can we better profile proteins? How can we understand the three-dimensional structure of the genome and how that's impacting gene regulation? And when I was working on all of that, an article caught my attention in the news. Kate Rubins sequenced DNA on the International Space Station, and that got me thinking, has this been done before? How many times has this been done before? Do we know what's going on inside of astronauts during space flight? And at that time, that was the first time any DNA sequencing had been done before. All of the preparation had been done on the ground, so they were just testing the sequencer in space. They weren't doing all of the upstream work like isolating DNA from the bloodstream, preparing the DNA for the sequencer. That was done on the ground. And not only that, NASA wasn't studying astronauts and their different genomic and gene expression and protein profiles when they came back down to Earth. That wasn't done until a couple years later with the NASA Twin study. So if you're familiar with the NASA Twin study, that was when Scott Kelly went to space for a year and his identical twin brother, Mark Kelly, stayed on Earth for a year. And they compared Scott's profiles and how they changed relative to Mark's. And that was a huge paper that was published in Science. The unfortunate piece of that story was that data was never really publicly accessible to the research community. So when I was looking for postdoc work, I reached out to somebody who did the NASA Twin study. I reached out to Christopher Mason. He was one of the lead researchers doing the omics profiling for that mission. And so I went to his lab. I got a postdoctoral fellowship from NASA. I went to his lab. And one of the things when I started going to conferences that people were asking me is, where is this twin study data? We can't access it. And that was the first I'd heard of that. When you publish with a journal like Science, you're supposed to make all of your data available. Mm-hmm. So I dug into it and I found out that NASA wouldn't allow that data to be released, which, that's fine. It is completely identifiable. If you don't want to make your genomic information public, you shouldn't have to. That should not be a condition of your employment. So at that point, when I was in Chris's lab, he sat me down with a meeting one day. He said, "Hey, we have a meeting with SpaceX, hop on this call." I didn't know what he was talking about or what this was about, but I just kind of sat in the background of that call in his office with him and listened in. And we were talking with the medical team for the Inspiration 4 crew. And the Inspiration 4 crew wanted to do the same thing that the NASA Twin study folks had done. So they wanted to do the same thing that Mark had done, the same thing that Scott had done, which was really exciting. I flew around. I spent a year flying around collecting samples from them both before and after flight. So I flew to Hawthorne in California to SpaceX headquarters and sampled from them there. flew to Houston when they were there post-flight, flew to Cape Canaveral, actually set up a mobile lab in a garage I rented down there, so we could continue.
That's
Yeah, it was
awesome.
literally, we were afraid to open the garage. It was so humid, but we were afraid to open the garage because a lab in a garage in Florida looks really suspicious.
I know.
So we were collecting blood, urine, stool, saliva, skin swabs. We got skin biopsies from the crew, which we did some really interesting spatial profiling on those. That's like you actually take a piece of skin and you slice it up and you can look at the different RNA profiles and different layers. And so we published this in Nature, and as I was going through this data, I didn't just want to have one paper come out for all of this. I started dividing up the data as it was coming off of the sequencer and giving it to as many people as possible. That package ended up having 44 papers in it, most of them using that Inspiration 4 data in some way. And so it was really important to me after what had happened with the twin study to make sure this data got to as many researchers as possible. What we were doing at that moment as well was we were working with NASA with the Biological and Physical Sciences program. So NASA has two biology divisions, let's say. There's the Human Research Program and there's the Biological and Physical Sciences program.
Mm-hmm.
I was working with Biological and Physical Sciences because they produce a lot of omics data from the International Space Station, from the mice, from the C. elegans, from the fruit flies, from all of these different model organisms. And the Human Research Program, since they weren't distributing human data from their astronauts, they didn't have a database. So I worked with Biological and Physical Sciences to get this data into their database. This took like half a year just to get this cataloged and uploaded. So we were doing this in the background while we were finishing up the research and the papers. It was online for about 6 months. We had a bunch of different research groups from around the world accessing it. And then NASA ended up taking it offline.
Mm. Damn.
And the information they've given me publicly is very different than what I've heard is going on behind closed doors, which is really unfortunate. So basically, the short story, without disclosing anything that would get anyone in trouble, was that this was removed for political reasons, internal political reasons.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's researchers that can't access this data, who really should be able to. I mean, at this point, if only NASA researchers are able to access astronaut omics data, all of the research, all of the developments, all of the companies are only going to be coming from a small group of people. So not only is that not particularly democratic or meritocratic, it's just going to hurt technology and innovation across the world. We can't start companies if we don't have access to this data. We can't make breakthroughs. We can't design new therapies. So the reason I joined the SERA mission is because there's the SOMA data that we have, we can put that back online. I'm working on that with my nonprofit. We just can't host it through NASA. The issue with that is there's still limitations on who can access it. It's not totally open. It's researchers who can access it. Mm-hmm. Researchers operating under an IRB. That's still a huge hurdle for a lot of people. So that means you can't use it for education. You can't use it for training programs. You have to be a researcher asking a research question. So that got me thinking, how can I kill two birds with one stone here? How can I fix two problems? How can I create a pathway where data can't be censored and taken down by the government anymore? And how can I create a pathway where anybody can use this data for anything that they want to do, whether that's just to explore, whether that's to start a company, whether that's to design a therapy, whether that's just to do some research, to do some learning. And so I reached out to an organization called the Personal Genome Project, PGP, which is a project run out of Harvard University by George Church. George Church was very influential in the Human Genome Project. He started a company called Colossal Biosciences that's trying to resurrect the woolly mammoth. He does all of these really crazy things. And one of the things that he has is this repository of genomic information where you have all of the gene expression data, the DNA sequences, everything you can sequence that you want to sequence, and right next to it is your name. And you put a lot of effort into the IRB, the permission for this, the review board up front, for him to design it this way. But it means that anybody can access this data from anywhere in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so it removes all these barriers that we have in place before. And so I reached out to that organization. They're about 20 years old at this point. Their 20th birthday is coming up. And they're really excited to potentially have astronaut data in there. And so I'm going to be just, trying to spread this message as much as I can over the next few months that we need to have a way of making this data accessible. And I'm volunteering myself to make my own data publicly accessible and kick down that door for the rest of us.
Heck yeah, that's such an inspiring story and journey. Like, I had the opportunity of talking to you and getting to know a little bit about like your journey, which inspired me a lot because I'm also a computer science major trying to get into bioastronautics. So, we see that like astronaut data has always been this like it hasn't been accessible to people, and it's unfortunate because there's so many things that like can be done with it. So many technological like advancements, research, and a huge impact. So, and honestly, it's incredible to see that you're being like, no, we gotta change this, and you're paving the way for like this research to be accessible to everyone, so that more researchers can leverage this data and make more impact in society as a whole. So that's really inspiring. And let me ask you, like, what's your biggest dream for humanity future in space?
I mean, short term, we have to get all our eggs out of one basket. There's so many existential threats that face all of humanity on this planet, that, if catastrophe does happen, we don't want to lose all of us. We need to figure out how to make independent, pockets of humanity elsewhere. The other thing is, I think putting distance between people again is going to lead to a lot more diversity. I think one thing we've seen over the past century or so is with this increasing amount of globalization is a homogenization of cultures in a way. And I would like to see different cultures flourish. I'd like to see humanity try different paths, try different things, create different branches that are a little bit more independent from each other and see what that leads to.
Heck yeah. Is there anything else that you would like my audience to know about, like, you and your experiment, your journey?
Let's see. I mean, all of my social media accounts are very new, so please feel free to follow me and help spread my word. That would be really helpful.
Yes, guys, also check her podcast. Is amazing. Like, there's 3 episodes out, and the first 2 episodes is incredible. And I had the honor of being a part of the 3rd one, so go check it out. It's available on my story as well. It's available on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts as well, right?
Not Apple, actually, no. Spotify, YouTube, and X.
Oh, Spotify, YouTube, and X. Go check it out, guys.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to come on, just send me a DM. I don't know if I should reach out to people or if people should reach out to me, but please feel free to reach out. And I think the final thing is just thinking about these missions. I try to think, what can we do through commercial space that we can't do through NASA, or that NASA can't do, that NASA won't do. And those are going to be this space where commercial space flight really flourishes.
Heck yeah. Honestly, I can't wait to the day that actually, happens, and, we make science accessible for everyone, this research accessible for everyone. I already told you, I volunteer my genome to this database, to this study. So, yeah, guys, she's been doing an incredible work. Like, go check it out. Like, I'm serious. I'm not saying this because she's here. Go check it out. She has also an incredible website campaign. You can check it out. There's all the links in there. Yeah, an inspiration to us all. So thank you so much, Elia, for being here and taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much for hosting this. This has been a really great night.
No problem. Thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed your time here.
That's good. Thank you so much. Let's see. Is it the X on the screen?
I believe so.
I'll just start pressing
exit
things.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Galera, essa foi a live de hoje. Tem mais alguém aqui na audiência que gostaria de participar? Se tem algum outro candidato aqui que não foi chamado ainda, que não tá na minha lista, sinta-se à vontade de levantar a mãozinha aqui e eu te chamar pro palco. Guys, is there anybody else that would love to join the live that is astronaut candidate at SERA? That, you know, the floor is open. If you would like to join us, feel free. You know, I'm trying to make like an inclusive space so that everybody can come up here and share their own story. So if anybody would like to join, alguém quer entrar na live? Deixa eu ver se a Isabel tá aqui. Eu sei que ela também queria compartilhar a história dela. Vou ver se ela entra. Se ninguém mais quiser entrar na live, eu vou encerrar a live. Patrícia, eu vi que você entrou. Amiga, você quer subir no palco e contar um pouco sobre a sua história também? Sinta-se à vontade, me deixa saber. Eu te chamo aqui pro palco. Vamos ver. Obrigado pela oportunidade a todos nós. Que isso, amiga. Estamos aí para isso. Ok. A Patrícia tá fazendo a filha dela dormir, então tá tranquilo. Gente, vai ter uma outra live. Então, se não teve oportunidade, vai ter uma outra. Pode ficar tranquilo que eu vou avisar. É só vocês me acompanharem. So, guys, thank you so much for being here today. I really appreciate all of you guys for coming up here and sharing your own stories. You know, this has been an amazing opportunity to get to know like everybody's culture, everyone's stories. And this is what I love about, like, you know, being a part of SERA, you know, as a astronaut candidate. It's getting to know like all these people from, you know, different backgrounds and stories. And, you know, I'm thrilled to be in this competition along you guys. And I hope to see us all in space one day. So thank you so much for being here. And we'll definitely have another live. I'll make sure to like let everybody know. I'll be posting, and yeah, just keep an eye out. There will be more opportunities for everybody to come join us. So thank you, and ad astra.